You have lemongrass that's balancing, and tea tree and yarrow, and it has a way of like using them in different ways. It's very interesting. So like some of them are cold and some of them are drying. So like you can go either way and experiment. And if you muscle test and something tests strong, you can look at these charts and say, oh, okay, they're kind of, they need to be dried up a little bit, or they need to be, cooled down a little bit. Or you might be totally wrong, and then the muscle testing kind of shows you what they need. So this is a really cool part of the book. And then they have kind of a fancier version of this kind of map. But what's cool about the Materia Medica aspect of this book is they have like a little breakdown on, like, for example, on bergamot. They got a lot to say about bergamot here. Look at that. 1 page. Whereas that guy only had like, what, a line or two, which is fine. But when you look at bergamot, for example, it tells you, if you look on there, see the V, this one right here, right there, the V, K, and P. Well, it tells you that it doesn't do anything to Vata, the Vata systems of the body. It lowers the Kapha, so that's like the slowing, the lazying, the mucus building, all that kind of stuff, right? And it increases Kapha. It increases Pitta, which is like fire in the body, right? Movement, fire, energy, metabolism. Okay? So, one of them is metabolism, one of them is catabolism, one of them is anabolism, right? So catabolism is Vata, metabolism is Pitta, and anabolism is Kapha. It's okay, start again, right? So it's Vata is catabolic, it breaks down tissue. Vata builds up tissue, which is anabolic, right? Like anabolic steroids. And then Pitta is metabolic. It just moves things, okay? Moves things along. Great for pain, great for all sorts of things like that. It's the antispasmodic, right? So this is pretty cool. Really cool book. And it's got like all sorts of different remedies from like myrrh and myrtle and neroli, and they kind of cover it all. Great book. I got this for $11. Well worth more than $11, this one. Now this book is kind of dear to me because when I got this book, it didn't look like this with these like kind of edges. I got it rebound because it fell apart. The binding sucked on this book. And what I discovered is I can kind of reorganize it. So book's kind of been reorganized. I cut it into 2 parts, the theory and then the Materia Medica parts right here, like tabs and stuff. And after I did this, I got into doing the same thing with other books. I just basically would take it to like an Office Max or someplace like that. For $2, they'll cut the binding off clean. They have this machine. They press it down. They cut the binding off, and they rebind it for you. So any book that's having that kind of problem, you can get it rebound. Even if it's a hardback, you can just get rid of the hard back element and have them put this kind of like black kind of plastic backing. So play around with that. It's interesting. But botanical medicine. It's called A European Professional Perspective by Dan Kenner and Yavs Rakina. I'm not saying that. I think it's Yavs is Eves. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Eves Rakina. Okay, that's the name. That's the title. This is an awesome book. Really advanced. It took me about a year to really kind of like looking at this over. Actually, probably a year and a half looking at over and over again to understand the depth of this book. It's based on Chinese medicine. It's based on endocrinology. It's based on the French approach to holistic medicine, I guess you can call it. And it, some of the stuff I'm not as into with the Chinese style, but they were really great breakdowns on all sorts of different things. They have maps and models in here for all sorts of things from like the endocrine, like what oils affect the endocrine system and how they affect the endocrine system. They have these cool little chart. I'm not going to bring it too close, but check it out. This is a really cool chart. Well worth your money. Whatever you pay for this book, it's a cool book. Again, you could just quickly scan stuff and look at remedies and find. They have another cool thing is this has herbs it talks about, minerals it talks about, oils it talks about. Very cool book, man. And like for example, the oil section. It's cool. I mean, like right off the bat, you can look up anise. It's got like, it's for gas, headaches, chest tightness. But then you go into the deeper elements. So it says neuroendocrine on the anise, right? So it's parasympathetolytic. So it basically slows down the parasympathetic system, okay? Stimulates prolactin secretion. Okay, so it kind of helps chill out the system in this with the prolactin. Prolactin is an antagonist to dopamine, right? So if you have too much dopamine, the prolactin goes up and the dopamine goes down. Now you may want to do that, you may not want to do that, but the system, you know, look, it's like almost everyone here with like that wants to help with, you know, brain chemistry balance or whatever. What do they want to do? Increase the serotonin, increase the dopamine, increase the, you know, endorphins, increase. No, you don't want increase. You want to balance. That's the key. It's not increase. Okay? You don't want to increase anything. You want to bring everything in balance. So that means you want to increase some things, you want to decrease some things, and you want to leave some things alone. Now that's why the muscle testing is so important, because these aren't just like, oils aren't just some like, oh, oils. No, they're very powerful. You know, they're very powerful. You can throw your whole constitution off with the wrong oils. You know, they talk about the aromatherapy, which is a technique that they use in France. These researchers, there's like, I guess, a school of like kind of holistic doctors or whatever. There's a school of holistic doctors over there, and what they do is they have done research with oils, and they get a petri dish, and they put a sample of your stool in the petri dish, like a little small sliver of like some of the bacteria from your stool. And what they discovered is like they put different oils on the different stool samples, and what they discover is oils that don't even kill a certain type of bacteria will kill them just for you, because because the oil is in such harmony with your body. It just kills those bacteria. And by the way, muscle testing with essential oils is one of the best ways to deal with skin issues. Okay, skin issues on the face, skin issues anywhere in the body, rashes, all sorts of things like that, like the skin eruptions. Okay, they work really well, really well. So there's another cool book. I have no idea how much I paid for it, but this one is it's an interesting book, because it might even be hard to get at this point. I don't know. Now we go to the master. This one. This is always bound like this. It came to me like this. It's like $40 or $50 book. Very hard to get. It's by Jeffrey Ewan, and it's called Materia Medica of Essential Oils, based on Chinese medicine perspective, or based on a Chinese medicine medical perspective, by Jeffrey C. Ewan. Y-U-E-N. So this thing kind of has like a little breakdown in the beginning of like what's good for, like, you know, stopping bleeding, or orifices, you know, open portals, and, you know, some Chinese terms like damp and tonify yang and all this kind of stuff. For anyone that wants to have energy, that's tonify yang, right? How about strength and energy and fire, metabolism, right? Parasites, and goes on and on. However, that's not the best part of the book. This is the best, by far, the best Materia Medica you're going to find on the market of different essential oils, period. Because it just gives you the core of each oil. Now, there's this top area which kind of covers like where to get the oil, the color of the oil, blah, blah, blah. Kind of boring information. Glad it's there. But this stuff is really powerful. So let's look at anise again, right? So anise, so what does it say? It can irritate the skin, mildly estrogenic, deficient essence, so you don't want to use it in these cases, right? In cancer, pregnancy. The actions are antispasmodic, analgesic, narcotic, and diuretic. Now, in this book, he does not recommend you use these oils internally. However, in this book, I'm not saying he recommends you use it internally, but he does report on how the French use it internally at different doses. Some oils a drop, some oils 20 drops a day, and so forth. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with that. That's could be very dangerous. If you do know what you're doing, Okay, so here we have regulates liver qi and clears heat. Descend lung and stomach qi, dry cough, whooping cough. So it helps the lungs and the stomach move down, the energy move it down. Instead of coming up coughing, the energy is supposed to go down into the lungs, right? And promotes lactation. So liver qi stagnation resulting in liver fire with emotional stress. So it goes on with the symptoms. Diaphragmic constriction, plum pit throat, restlessness, insomnia, red eyes, headache, delayed menses or heavy menses with clots. Rebellious stomach qi with vomiting, nausea, food stagnation, and it gives you the points that he wants you to use it on. And it gives you like little notes, and this is different from star anise from China and Vietnam. Anise oil can slow down circulation and induce drowsiness. So it gives you like a full kind of image. Now, if you have all these 5 books and you read up on any oil, you're gonna get a very, 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 very deep understanding, both chemically, both constitutionally from Chinese perspective, the endocrine perspective. You're gonna get a very deep idea of what all these oils do. Now, these books don't cover all the oils, but you're looking at enough oils are being covered here that you can feel good about your understanding of oils. So, hey, if you're messing with this stuff in any way, these are definitely the 5 books to get. The last 3 are definitely like a must if you want to really kick ass. But if you get the 5, you'll be in really good shape to have a really, really strong, very strong base to work from. And with that said, have a wonderful day.